food. I gotta worship my Father in spirit and truth. Word.
In thee, oh Lord, my strength lies within you. Someday soon we'll be together again. Holidays will never be the same. They'll never be the same. But Lord, I put all my trust in you.
Thank you, God. Dreams of meeting my Elohim, my medicine. The hill what can't be kept, you gotta let them leave. If it dies, it dies, you gotta let it grieve. When it gets rocky, they don't stick with the creed. Breathe. The sun gon' shine on you. Nah, God can't keep his mind off you. Nah, God didn't waste his time on you. No, you gon' do what you were designed to do. Let me struggle so you don't have to worry, love. And if you do, he said you're more than a conqueror. Every experience is new opportunities. Opportunity to experience just you and me.
In thee, oh Lord, my strength lies within you. Someday soon we'll be together again. Holidays will never be the same. They'll never be the same. But Lord, I put all my trust in you.
Please have mercy on this wicked, wretched man! Exclamation. Present myself a sacrifice. I pray you love the fragrance, love. Really, I'm just trying to pray for patience. Patiently, I wait so you reward me in my waiting. Sorta downcast, but not done yet. You promised me that if I trust that I would soon find rest. You interject, young man, you finna try your best, but stick with it through the cross. I done fix your mess. If you believe it, you see the salvation of the Lord in due season. The blessed is the one who will endure, you'll find meaning. That even in my suffering, you sovereign over demons. That even in my suffering, you sovereign over reason. Dependable in all your ways. You are still sovereign over wind and waves. You are consuming fire in my darkest days. A pillar cloud covering, I pray. I mean, joy comes in the morning. Yeah. Joy comes in the morning. Joy comes in the morning. Yeah. Joy comes in the morning. Yeah. Joy comes in the morning. Yeah. Joy comes in the morning. Joy comes in the morning. Yeah. Joy comes in the morning. Lucky words can't define my pain. Lucky God went and took my place. Yeah, yeah. Lucky God wash away my stains. Oh yeah. Lucky God, I present my case. There's none like you. There is none besides thee. Ain't nobody compared to you. It's really so unlikely. I don't need dead idols. I need you on my knees. Eventually I will find you. I need peace. I don't need temporary ODs. Oh God, I mean please, I plead, oh mercy me. Strong tower I run, like really who could contest the great name of your son? There isn't one. And even though the victory won, we fight until the day that we done. Look, I just need the strength to endure, oh God, until I see the face of your son. Joy comes in the morning. Yeah. Joy comes in the morning. Joy comes in the morning. Yeah. Joy comes in the morning. Yeah. Joy comes in the morning. Yeah. Joy comes in
This is the big question. How do we break the cycle of repetitious living? How do we break the cycle of repetitious living? These are the things that I want you to come to watch night service with on your mind. I'm going to break this cycle of repetitious living. The mountain that you're compassing about is not Mount Sierra. That's not our problem. Many of us, most of us won't ever see that mountain. We'll never get to go over there and look at the mountain. We're compassing about the same financial mountain. Same financial mountain. Never been out, never been up, never been free. Same financial mountain. Or compulsive spending. Spending to replace love. Giving more money is not giving more of you. You bought her more stuff to pay her off rather than to have a relationship, or vice versa. I wish I wasn't in MIXX company. I'd give some illustrations. Ooh, hallelujah. Glory. Wandering around the same abusive behavior. Some of you are going around the same, you and your spouse or you and your kids are hooked into an abusive mountain, and your family functions in an abusive, hostile atmosphere. If things are nice, people think things are wrong because you have become hooked on cursing each other out and yelling and screaming and bickering and fighting, and things aren't normal to you until you're acting like your parents acted. It's a cycle, and it's got to be broken. And in fact, you weren't even attracted to anybody who would treat you nice. I don't know. He's kind of like a brother to me. I just like racing people. So there you are fighting at 2 o'clock in the morning with pipe wrenches and bowling pins. And these are the people who come rushing into our office saying, I want out of this abuse. The abuse is not the problem. It's the symptom. You're treating the symptom. The problem is deeper than that. What is it about you that makes you comfortable to live like that? What is it about you that can walk around in a filthy house and never be troubled by it? What is it about you that makes you climb over slime in the refrigerator trying to find a donut? Never take the time, and you're comfortable with it. That's the symptom. What is causing the symptom? See, a lot of this stuff has you tied up. Somebody just shake your neighbor and say, break the curse. The same moral decadence, the same moral, the same infidelity, the same whoremongering, the same lust, and we keep going around it over and over again. It just repeats itself. Nobody ever breaks it. Nobody ever gets healed. Nobody ever gets delivered, and it continues to exist, and we get trapped into this sin mountain that we can't get away from. You'd be shocked at the people in this room who are trapped around a sin mountain that they can't get away from. Praise the Lord. Hallelujah. How you doing? I'm blessed in the Lord. Thank God. How are you? Doing fine. Going on in Jesus' name. Hallelujah. When I think of the goodness of Jesus, all that He's done for me, I'm not talking about what you say. I'm talking about where you live. Going around and around the same sin mountain. You'd be shocked at the 50-year-olds who are acting like they're 15. I wondered, where did Big Mama go, and where did Grandmama go, and where did the prayer warriors go? I admit that we came from matriarchal families, and by and large, they were Mama and Big Mama and Grandmama that ran the family, but this generation don't even have that. At least we used to have Big Mama and Grandmama, but now Grandma just split her skirt up, and she out here trying to find her somebody. We ain't got nobody to lead anything anymore. Everybody's going on a date now. It's not that Big Mama's dead, she busy. Big Mama not dead, she got a date. Big Mama's trying to get her groove on. Big Mama's on the phone talking to Boo. Y'all don't want me. Y'all don't want me. Watch this, I'm gonna give you something powerful. Can I give you something powerful? Let me tell you where the moral decadence, what causes people to be trapped in moral decadence and can't get out. And the church, in some ways, actually feeds into this, because we keep talking to you about moral issues and you keep trying to live up to it and falling away from it. And then we come to you, talk to you about it, and you try to live up to it and fall away from it. And so we get a cycle, and we're kind of codependent between the pulpit and the pews. You fall into it, we preach you out of it. You fall into it, we pray. Both of us need each other. We need to preach it, you need to hear it, and we start needing each other. So you need to hear me say it so you can run to the altar. I need to be needed, so I start saying it to get you to run to the altar. And the cycle never breaks. And in fact, if I don't beat you often enough, you'll leave this church and go to some place where they're lifting up a standard because you want to be beat. Because beating is normal to you, and you only think people are preaching when they're telling you what's wrong with you. You slave, if you don't get a beating every month, you don't feel normal. Can't nobody love you and hold you and bless you, and you're attracted to abusive pastors. My God, who am I preaching to this morning? There you get stuck in a rut. Some of you know people like that. They just love abusive stuff. They love to be around somebody just abusing them and talking down to them. You get your hips on this altar. That's what you gonna do. You gonna come in. If you come in this church, sit yourself down and you go. They love it. They love it. It's a sickness. It's a sickness. It's a curse. And so we get into this struggle, and the struggle exists between the pews and the pulpit, and the one who's preaching is struggling. And the one who's hearing it is struggling, and we're just feeding and festering and going back and forth. And let me tell you what keeps you wandering around that moral mountain over and over again. It's not that you didn't pray hard enough when you got to the altar. It's not that you couldn't get the bishop to lay his hands on you, to call that spirit out of you. It's not that they didn't put oil on your forehead and make a cross. That's not the problem. The problem is you don't have purpose. In the absence of purpose, you get distracted with toys and play games and get tied up in all kind of stuff. But when you understand that God created you with a divine purpose and that you have something else to do, many of you, God so fascinated you that the fascination of what he called you to do delivered you from what you were into. All of a sudden you said, I don't have time to go out tonight. I've got to be able to get to the church because I don't have time. And it wasn't that you don't still have lust and craving, but when you understand who you are and what God has called you to do, God snatches you out. You need some purpose in your life. Your children need purpose. Somebody just start calling purpose back. Our children need purpose other than boom boxes and booty shaking and dancing and jerking. They need purpose. They need to be around greatness. They need to be exposed to something beyond the mediocrity of the kids on the block, in the street, on the corner, in the joint, in the club. They need to see something that makes them know that all things are possible to him that believes. They need to dare to dream, to long, to crave, to get up, to go somewhere. I want to go somewhere I've never been and see something I've never seen so I can become something that I've never been. I want to get away from around this mountain. Touch 7 people and say, get away from the mountain. 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 Get away from it. By any means necessary. Whatever it takes. Get away from the mountain. If you got to change neighborhoods. If you got to change friends. Get away from the mountain. God is calling